Hey, this is Tara Pritchard, confidence coach for women, and I'm excited to be with you to share 5 steps you can take so that you can get rid of the baggage that you carry, right? And again, as I've been saying, we are moving into a new season on the physical realm, but in the spiritual realm, you can move into new seasons anytime. So it doesn't matter when you are seeing this. If you're carrying baggage and you know you're carrying baggage and you want to drop the baggage, then this is the video for you. If this is your first time, I am Tara Pritchett, right? Confidence coach for women. I love helping single professional women heal, evolve, and grow, right? I love helping them reposition themselves from the inside out so that they can manifest the life and love that they want and that they desire and that they deserve. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, you can find me all over the internet, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Unleash Your Fierce, right? So as we begin to think about baggage, and you know you have baggage, right? We normally know we have baggage. So that's usually not the issue. We usually are aware of it. Sometimes we're not aware of it. But if you're joining me, that means that you have already come to the realization that you have the baggage and you want to do something about it, right? If you found me, that's usually how it rolls, right? I know that, I understand that, right? And you know you have baggage when your insecurities are running things, when your negative thoughts are running things, right? If you remember our last time that we spent together, right, and you can go back to the video before this, you will see I talked about how if you want to up level to your next level, how the main thing we need to focus on is mindset, right? Because we oftentimes plant seeds, right, within our mindset, right? And then we get mad sometimes when the things that blossom, what blossoms from that because of what we're watering the seeds with. A lot of times we water things with negativity, or we're watering things with doubt, or we're watering, our beliefs with fear and anxiety, and the negative feelings, the guilt, the shame, and all of that allow us to blossom something that we don't always want to manifest and blossom in our lives. And then we're like, wait, how did I end up here? But 9 times out of 10, if you go back to your beliefs and your mindset and looked at what seeds you planted, how you tended to it or didn't tend to it, how you watered it and grew it or didn't water it and grow it, if you didn't give it the sunlight and nourishment that it needed, then it might not have blossomed the way that you would have thought that it would have blossomed, right? So that's why we're here today, because sometimes we plant those seeds. And we don't like the result of it. So sometimes it means we need to take a little scoop or a little broom, and it's time for us to clean those things out, right? And you have bags, and I'm imagining I got some heavy bags, right? And you have bags when you keep repeatedly attracting something over and over again, and it's not the most positive thing. If you keep gaining that weight back over and over, if it's repeating itself, I always say it needs your attention. And I always say I hate coming to that realization or that revelation, but it's the truth. If you keep gaining weight over and over, if there's a generational cycle, you keep attracting abusive men, and every other woman in your family did that, right? Or you keep attracting, men that just they're a little disrespectful over and over again, right? There's just a couple ways you can tell that you have baggage by what you attract. By what you attract to you, and more so not so much what you attract, but also what you entertain, because what you entertain is also going to tell you where your worth is and your values, your standards, and your boundaries, right? And sometimes we need to do a cleaning and a cleansing and a releasing of those things in order to reposition ourselves to manifest the life and love that we so want and that we so desire, right? So those are like the top examples, right? That I get all the time, right? Relationship stuff, your weight is something that, easily and kind of show, right? When you're kind of carrying stuff and attracting stuff over and over, and you have bags, right? And I always go back to Erykah Badu's song Bag Lady, because it's just perfect, right? I sent an email out about that the other day, because Bag Lady is just so good. And that way it's all about, a woman carrying bags to that relationship, right? And before I hopped on here, I was thinking about it in my head, right? And she said, one day he gonna say you crowd in my space. Why? Because you're bringing all of your insecurities, right, to the table, and he doesn't necessarily want to deal with that, and that's suffocating him, or that doesn't necessarily make him feel good, because you're bringing all that to the table and you haven't done the inner work on yourself, and that doesn't feel good for somebody else, right? And even in the song she says pack light, I can't sing, but you hear me trying to sing, right? you see, unpack light, right? Which just means that you need to spend some time unpacking things as you navigate and go on this journey, right? The more things, if you pack on things on top of each other and you just keep stacking them up, that is all over you. Hey. That is like all over you. You're like literally carrying that stuff around with you. And I know it doesn't feel good, right? It ain't like I ain't never carried nothing, right? So it doesn't feel good all the time, right? And it's something that we have to learn how to release. And we have to learn how to let go, because if you want to rise and continue, to grow into who God has called you to be, I'm here to tell you, got to go through the process. Every time you go to a new level, there is an elimination phase. There is a dying phase. There is a phase that is going to hurt. That's not going to feel good. That you got to kind of release things and let go. Whether that's losing weight, whether that's a relationship, what maybe you've lost a child. Like there's just some phase, and it can be something as extreme as the things that I mentioned, or it can be something smaller, where a coworker says something to you and it really bothers you like all weekend, and then like you have to say something when you come back on a Monday. It could be something like that, or it could be something extreme, where there's an actual literal death. But there's a small part of you that is going to have to die away so that you can evolve into, who God wants you to be, right? And again, it's not always going to feel good, but I promise you it'll be good, right? So anyway, let's talk about these 5 steps that you can take to drop that baggage. I want to use this acronym. Y'all know I like acronyms, for the word clean, right? Because I think when you're dropping baggage, it's almost like a cleansing and a cleaning and releasing and letting things out, right? So I have, step by step for the word clean. So let me go, to my notes really quick. So the first thing is the C in clean, right? And that is clearing out the clutter. You can have emotional color, you can have physical, mental, financial, romantic, social. You can have all different types of clutter. If you've had some bootleg friendships, then you probably got some clutter. If you packed on some extra pounds over the years, then you have some, physical weight clutter. That is a part of who you are. If, your bedroom is dirty and you're not, making your bed up every day, you're not putting your clothes away, you're not keeping things in order, in your home, right? Then you have some physical clutter in your home that needs to be taken care of. And I'll get to that later once we hit the A of these steps. But the first thing is clearing out the clutter. Clearing out the clutter. And the easiest way, before you even do any of the inner work, is to start on the outer, right? Which just seems like it's weird because I usually do the inner. But if we think about clearing the clutter, there is, and it is scientifically proven. I just read an article the other day about how clutter is actually linked to depression. And I was like, oh, okay. Being in a cluttered area or a cluttered space, I was just thinking earlier, because I feel like I have so many papers on my desk at work right now, and I'm a teacher, that when we go on spring break, I'm going to take a day and come in to kind of declutter things that I've just kind of collected. I have all these books. I have sets of books that we've ordered that we've never had the opportunity to use. I have all different types of paper. I have papers that are great. I got papers that need to be filed. And I was like, you know what? I need to come in, because I need to get it in order, right? I need to clean it out. I need to clear it out. And you know why? The beautiful thing in that is that when you physically clean the things around you, right? You're tossing out trash. You're going through clothes that you haven't worn in years in that closet and in those drawers, and you're vacuuming floors, and you're wiping windows and all that. And I've even come to find there are people who genuinely enjoy cleaning, or if they're upset or mad, they do cleaning because it allows them to kind of let things out, or they're getting that mood. But here's the beautiful part about clearing out the clutter, especially when you start with the physical clutter, is that it connects to your emotional, spiritual, and mental clarity and peace and sanity. Because when, after you have like freshly cleaned up a room in your home or cleaned off your desk, it feels so good to your soul, right? And that opens you up to be able to pour into yourself, or allow God to pour into you in a new way when it comes to doing the inner healing work. Hopefully that makes sense for you, okay? So again, first step is clearing out the clutter that you physically see around you, letting that clutter go that you see. Picking up that trash, wiping things down, organizing things, throwing things out, just kind of reassessing, how you are doing things and having things in order in your living spaces, in your home space, in your car, even down to your cell phone. Do you really need all those apps? Do you need all those pictures on your phone? How can we clear that out, right? So just thinking about those things, and those are just a couple minor. There's a whole list of other stuff, which we'll get to. Or at least I share how we'll get to that later, right? So here's the second thing in my method, my 5 steps. So once you clear out the clutter, the next thing that you got to do is you got to learn how to let go, and you have to learn how to let God. So once you've cleared out that clutter, and I say this all the time, over and over again, but I already know me, I know you. Our patience can run thin sometimes. When we want something, when we desire something, we've been craving it for a really long time, and we go out to the mall, we go online, and we see other people with it. It can be hard. To do that, especially, it's like, damn, and I got to go through this cleaning process. I got to drop my baggage, but she over there with her man, or she over there with her baby, and I know she got issues, right? I've literally had people tell me that. Like, I give up. Why I gotta do all this work? But I promise you that if you believe that God has a promise for you, if you believe that there's something on the other side of doing this healing work and that good things are going to come to you, then after you clear the clutter, it's time for you to let go and let God, and say, God, I surrendered all to you. I trust that you're guiding and directing me. I allow you to work through me. I allow you to pour into me as I'm clearing out all of this clutter. I'm emptying these things out. And in the last video, I talked about uprooting, asking God to uproot the negative beliefs from you, and allow him to pour into you. Lord, I ask that you plant some new seeds into me. I ask that you water me with, the divineness that is of you, that the almighty powerful things that you have for me, that the purpose you have for me, that you are nurturing, that you are watering, that you are my sunlight. You follow me, right? I'm speaking in a metaphorical way, but my hope is that you're grasping me and you're understanding where I'm coming from. So that's you letting go and letting God, so that you're open to receiving what he has for you, right? So let's move into our next step. Once you clear the color, once you let go, once you let God, then you move into the E. Girl, you ready for that E? So the E has to do with the physical baggage that we tend to carry. And I mean it all up in here. That means that weight, girl. Yes, the weight. And the E is to eat to live instead of you living to eat, right? How many people live to eat? You want to post your pictures online? I know I like posting my pics of my food, especially when it looks good. Do you know that there are restaurants and, eateries around the world who now purposely design and come up with certain things just so that their food and what they serve is Instagram worthy, right? Isn't that crazy? But that's just the society we live in. So now we're in a space where we live to eat, and we'll try something, because we can take a picture of it. Right. And a lot of times we are getting away from the whole purpose of, nurturing our body and tending to ourselves, and the seeds that we have planted in regards to our bodies are not always the best. Right. And then we look in the mirror and we like, oh, I don't like that. But part of this process of the releasing is being able to be naked mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And physically, being able to be fully naked within yourself, that means you're really released. You've really surrendered, and loving who you are in all of that nakedness and embracing that, but also working towards building up a better you, right? In that process, and that's important. So again, the E in this process, as we drop the baggage, is eating to live. And eating to live would allow you the process of detoxing and cleansing and purifying your body from, the foods that take away from that. All of the white foods that we eat, the pastas, the breads, the cookies, the ice creams, the chips, and all the 5 C's, right? And candy goes in there, chocolate goes in there, right? So all those things I love, girl, I love them. But I also love lettuce. I also love green smoothies. I also love fruit. I also love all those things. I love almonds. Ask my students. They be like, why do you eat almonds like every morning? Don't worry about what I eat, okay? Do not. And I like boiled eggs, right? Because I like having my protein. I like Greek yogurt. But it's important that we eat to live, because it allows our bodies to detox. Even having our detox water with our lemon in it, and our cucumbers or a fruit in our water allows us to detox and purify and to cleanse out the body. So that is the way of literally releasing physical baggage that we carry, but it also allows us to also release some weight as well, right? Because we carry emotional weight, but we also carry physical weight, and it really goes hand in hand, which brings me up to the A in this 5-step process, which is assessing your head, your heart, and your home, right? And when I mean by your head, I mean in terms of baggage, assess the mental baggage that you carry as you go through this process that you need to release and let go. Your heart space is all about you assessing the emotional baggage that you carry. That could be soul ties, that could be toxic ties, that can be something you're experiencing right now that has to do with your family or your friendship or your child, or so heart can cover a lot of different things. And then lastly is assessing your home, which takes us back to number one, which is cleaning out the clutter. But assess your home. What is it that you need to get in order in your home? I know the last time when I fasted a couple of weeks ago, I heard very subtly as I was cooking, which I don't necessarily do as often as maybe I would desire to, just because of my schedule. I really heard God really speak to me and say, get your home in order. Now, I don't necessarily know why. Like, I know why, but I don't know why. So I'm assuming that there is something that is coming on the horizon in some way, shape, or form that will lend itself to that, and it will come together. So I don't need to know the entire how it's all going to unfold. That's a part of letting go and letting God. But I do know that I'm responsible for intuitively listening and hearing and being fed the right things that I need to be fed, so that I can really hear, what God is speaking to me, right? So again, assessing the home. Do you need to get in order? Is there something you need to get fixed instead of going on that vacation? Do you need to get your home in order in some way? Right? Do you need to redo your entire bedroom so it's really fit for a queen or fit for a king and a queen? If you so desire, to get married, you might want to be repositioning your space, because you want to act as if you want to be in anticipation of, what's to come, right? It really depends on where you are, but you want to assess that home and see, is it still serving the same purposes? Is there a different shift or tone or mood that I want to bring into the space? Do these colors and this design still fit where I'm going at the next level, right? And then the other aspect of assessing your home is also where do you live all day and all night in your body? I would consider your body to be your other home. That's why it's important that you eat to live instead of living to eat, right? So assess your body. Where are you at? What are your body goals? What do you want to do with your body in the next 3 months, 6 months, in the next year? Is there some weight that you need to drop, or is there a place that you are that you need to maintain? Assess where you are, because that will allow you to drop bags that might be in the way that you haven't even realized because they're unconscious. And then last but not least is, as you go through this process of dropping the bags, as I mentioned at the start, it is not always the easiest process. As a result of that, it's super important that you learn how to nurture yourself as you go through this process. And so that means you might need to take time away from others, and they might not always understand that. Maybe you don't need to go out with your girlfriends, this upcoming weekend, because you need that time to yourself. Make that time. Maybe you don't need to book yourself out every weekend because you need a slice of time that is only for you. Maybe you do need to go book, a massage because you need that time for you. But nurture yourself through this process. Pulling out your journal, saying your affirmations, going to take care of yourself and make it something that makes you happy and that brings you joy for the times that you go through this process and you come face to face with the fact that you need to change your eating habits, or you might get diabetes, or you might get heart disease. That's not going to feel good. But how can you pair that with something that still honors you and cherishes you and values you and still nurtures you at the same time? So you're not getting overwhelmed in this process. So you're not feeling like it's, so difficult and it's so hard and it's something that you can't do or something you don't feel like going through, right? Because the only way, to get through is to go through. Right? Only way to get to the other side is to go through this process, right? As we call, almost like this cleaning process, right? It's kind of cleaning things out. And when you let go of the old, you allow yourself to position yourself for the new and what is to come, right? So I hope that you have found value in what I've shared today in terms of dropping the baggage that you carry. So just a quick recap from the clean method is clear out the clutter. Let go and let God, eat to live, assess your head, your heart, and both your homes, honey, right? And then lastly, nurture yourself through this process, which is important. If you're ready to go deeper and you want some more guidance as to how you can really assess your head, your heart, and your home, and how you can eat to live and nurture yourself and so on and so forth. And I encourage you, if you haven't already, to sign up for my free 5-day Sprinkling Your Life Challenge. It will not be free again. The next time it's available, there will be a fee attached to it. But I promise you it's going to change your life. I promise you that whatever season you're about to go into, that it will position you for that, right? We're going to release, reposition, and rise right up to the next level that God needs us to be at, so that we can fulfill purpose, so that we can be magnetic, we can be radiant, we can attract what we need to us, right? Because we're going to be making room for those things. We're going to be calling in those things. We're going to be in position and alignment to manifest the things that we most desire and deserve. So I hope that you will join us. Go to bit.ly/FierceSpring to sign up so that you can join us in this upcoming challenge. Hey. If you are hitting, and if you're catching this as a replay, make sure you leave me a comment. I will be back to, I get a notification, I'll come back and say, hey girl, hey, and I will like it or I will respond accordingly. So again, let me know how these tips work out for you. Hopefully you'll be a part of the challenge so we can go deeper and we can spend time together every day. If you're not already a member of the Unleash Your Fear Squad Facebook group, please go to Facebook and please type in Unleash Your Fear Squad and join. And then lastly, if you're not already on my email list, please go to unleashyourfears.com/ebook so that you can sign up and get your free ebook. But then you can also get communication from me when I'm not obviously going live or doing a video or on social media, but we can still stay connected, right? So anyway, I love you and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.